I'm Chris from Redmen TV. Do us a favour, do yourself a favour, and subscribe to the Liverpool Connection podcast. Do it. Do it now.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another story edition of the Liverpool Connection podcast. I'm me Todd. I'm Daz. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do put your notifications on so it'll come to you as quickly as we put it out. My special guest today is from Dublin, Ireland. He has a fantastic indie label called We Are Liverpool, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But we are very welcome Gavin. Gavin, I feel like we've already known each other. We've been talking for the last like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I thought we were recording.
Yeah, well, there was some good stories in there, wasn't there?
There was, yeah. I don't think they're suitable for the podcast, though.
Well, we'll get right into it then. So, why Liverpool Football Club?
Well, I suppose obviously young age, growing up in Ireland. Favorite player was Ronnie Whelan, and at that time, my dad never really pushed me towards supporting Liverpool, but his way of thinking was kind of, he always followed kind of the English club that had the most Irish players. So when I was maybe 6 or 7, Liverpool had probably Aldridge, Houghton, Staunton, Whelan, and I remember vividly when Whelan scored a goal for Ireland in Euro 88, which my dad was at. It was kind of like a bicycle kick from outside the box, and I was just, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So, Ronnie Whelan was my hero. He played for Liverpool, so then that got me started on supporting the Reds.
So, what was he? Did you have the posters?
You know what? I did have the posters, and I was so obsessed with Ronnie Whelan that my dad was at a shop, and they had a cardboard cutout of Ronnie Whelan outside it, and he said, "Can I take this home for my young fella?" And they let him take it. He brought it home. I was delighted to have this cardboard cut out of Ronnie Whelan. I was going around the house pretending I was having conversations with Ronnie Whelan, you know, yourself when you're 6 or 7 years of age. And then it kind of got to a stage where, like, I'd brought the cardboard cutout up to my room. So then when my mum and dad came into my room, I'd hide under the cardboard cutout and pretend that I was Ronnie Whelan asleep in the bed. It's embarrassing now. But then I got to meet Ronnie Whelan with my sister, and she proceeded to obviously tell him the story. Embarrass me. And he laughed it off anyway. And then a couple of years later, I met him again, and I was just me, him, and my friend in a lift. And my friend was like, I'm going to hang you here. And he told him the story, and Ronnie turned around and he goes, "I've heard the story before." So, like, I've met him. He seems like a nice guy, Ronnie. And so that's mainly the reason why I support Liverpool.
So, with the cutout, were you in the back garden, like heading to him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I was playing football with him. I was, sitting down at the lunch table. He was standing behind me, like, just being a, immature 6, 7 year old, and thinking that my hero was in the house watching me doing everything I was doing.
I bet it scared your mum sometimes seeing the
silhouette.
Shadow. Yeah.
Silhouette. Yeah. She might come into the room and then there's a silhouette in the corner, it's dark mornings.
It's just Ronnie.
Yeah, don't mind, man. It's just Ronnie.
Is your dad a Liverpool fan, or?
You know what? He's not. Like, he always says he's not. He always says he's not. But he's always looking out for them, always watching their games. You'd rarely catch him watching any other games. He's always watching Liverpool, and he'll always ring me up and be talking about Liverpool. But he'd never say that he supports them. But they're definitely his favourite team. But he's more into, I suppose, the Ireland national team more than kind of the Premier League.
Yeah, my dad's more into was never into football, rugby.
Yeah.
Massive rugby fan. Yeah, my granddad was the only one that was a Liverpool supporter, like die
Yeah.
hard. He's the one
Yeah.
that took me to my first match. But yeah, family usually like pushes you, one way or the other. It's like,
Yeah.
I had a conversation last week with Kian. He's from Irish band Modern Love, and
Oh,
he
yeah,
was,
I've heard of them.
yeah, he super lad, and they're coming over to the States in March.
Oh, nice.
They're coming to Austin to play as well, so I'll get to meet him. But yeah, he told me the story of like he came home with like a Chelsea shirt on, and his dad was like, if you want to live in this house, you take that off." Like,
What
hardcore.
age would Keane be?
What now?
Yeah.
23, maybe.
Yeah. So when I was growing up in Dublin, it was my class in school was like, probably 60% Liverpool, 35% Man United, and then you'd
Yeah.
have a Leeds fan, an Arsenal fan, and some other like an Ipswich fan or something.
Well, why do you think Liverpool is big in Ireland? Obviously, because of I would think the history of
Yeah.
of Liverpool and Ireland as well, bringing the immigrants over and working in the docks and everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say that like that's obviously a massive part of it. Like there's so every time I go over to Liverpool and where are you from? The Dublin. Oh, my dog is from Ireland. Like everyone seems to have a connection. But yeah, I suppose obviously the success that like Liverpool had in the 80s when it kind of everyone would have had access to it then as well. Also there was a lot of Irish players at Liverpool at the time. There would have been a big following for Everton here, in the 80s as well. They definitely would have had a good following here as well. But now I'd say, you can see the Man City and the Chelsea jerseys popping up now when like they were non-existent when I was a kid. I couldn't name a Chelsea fan that I know. Man City, not a hope. But then, I suppose more than half of my mates now are Manchester United.
Oh,
I know. That's what some people in Liverpool they can go to work and like nobody in Liverpool probably supports Manchester United, but like I go to work and 50% of the workforce support Man United, so they just are giving you dogs.
Well, I've got a couple of cousins that are Evertonians.
Yeah,
I mean, they've never really said too many words to me
they can't
since like early 90s.
Yeah, but like they're struggling big time at the minute. I mean, like I can see them possibly going down. Like
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's I know it sounds weird, but it's like I think a lot of people like would like them to go down. I know a bunch of my mates want them to go down, but just for a year. But I think, I think if they do go down, they might do a Leeds, and it might take them a long time to get back up. I mean, I'll miss the derby, but I mean,
Well, there's the derby, then I suppose the banter still will continue because they'd be in the championship, but I don't know.
With that brand new stadium as well, it'll be the best stadium in the championship.
That would be very funny now, indeed. I suppose for me growing up, it was more. You had so many Man United fans in their class, so you hated them. There wasn't really any Everton fans, so like, not that they were non-existent, but like, it was always Man United here for us. It's just like they just drove you mad. So like, it was them that you didn't like. So I don't know. As you said, maybe a season would be great if they went down just for the pure banter of it, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd like them to go down.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like you would miss the derby.
Yeah.
But the derby just isn't the same like it used to be. I mean, the old derby where you could get away with get away with a tackle. Now you can't get away with tackling anyone. But you know, like Stevie G going in there hard, Cara going in there hard. Now, I'd say maybe 4 years ago there was that's why I like Richarlison. No, I don't like him.
Yeah.
But when he played for Everton, it at least give a bit of oomph to the team, and I kind of miss that. It's just not been the same kind of derby as it was kind of growing up for me.
It's I suppose football's changed a lot in the last few years, and now with VAR involved, I mean, you can't really get away with anything. You should be able to still make a good meaty challenge, but they seem to be gone out of the game, altogether. I know what you mean about Richarlison. Look, if he maybe played for Liverpool or something, you'd love the wind-upness of him, like we did with Suarez.
Mm-hmm.
Suarez was, God, if he played against you, you'd hate him, like I did when he played for Barcelona against us. But when he played for us, Suarez, he's the best player I think I've ever seen play for. So I know there's the Gerrard comparison, longevity, Gerrard, but just pure talent. Suarez was
the shit house that Suarez used to
do. Just brought everything. He brought everything. He brought the shithousery, the skill, the goals, like bite. Not that I agree with it, but he was biting lads. He was flying into challenges. He fought for every ball. I loved him.
Well, that's why I like Nunes as well. Nunes kind of reminds me, because he's a ticking time bomb. You can see it's mental. Yeah, like, he wants to win at any cost, and I like that. I think we've needed a player like that again.
Yeah. I like Darwin. Like he's missed a lot of chances this year. Same as kind of Suarez's first season as well. Suarez couldn't. I don't know how many times he hit the post, but I think it'll come good for Darwin. Look, the knives are out for him by the media, but I mean, he's getting the chances. He'll start converting them. I think he'd be brilliant.
Well, we all know why. Like, the media's out for him. It's the price tag and putting him up against Haaland.
Yeah, but that was before the season even started that they done that.
Exactly. I mean, he scored 10 goals, and at this time he scored in his first season. Nunes has scored more goals than Suarez.
Yeah.
It'll take time. For me, he's getting in those positions.
Exactly.
He's doing those chances. It'll start to come. And also, I believe once Liverpool get back to where
he's playing in a struggling side,
Yeah, exactly. And Gakpo coming in, kind of looks a bit headless chicken at the moment. Yeah. But again, you're coming into he's been thrown in. He's like, we've only at the moment we only had one fit forward in Salah.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to play. So, and the midfield not doing so good. But so Anfield, the best stadium in the world, the best day out in the world. When was your first time?
The first time was it was actually my uncle who brought me over. He was a Spurs fan.
Did you bring the cutout?
No, it was too expensive. I couldn't buy him a seat. I can't remember what age I was, but I was probably, I'd say 13, because I suppose I was born in the 80s, a big recession in Ireland in the 80s, so it wasn't really affordable to kind of fly over to Liverpool for a game. So I think it must have been 92, maybe 93. My uncle brought me over on the ferry, and when I was leaving, I was crying because I was going to miss my mum and dad and stuff. But then as soon as I got there, I just couldn't wait for the game. It was, I think it was the first game of the season because my birthday's in August. And we were playing Sheffield Wednesday. And I think it was Nigel Clough's first game. And we beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-0. I got to bring a friend with me as well, so it was just a great trip.
Do you remember, like, And I know it's weird to ask, but I always ask, remember the smell, remember the green of the grass.
It was a long time ago now, so like I kind of just remember. See, I always went with my dad to the Ireland games from maybe 5 or 6, but then I kind of just it was always the same stadium I was going into, so I kind of remember walking into Anfield, and like it was just a different atmosphere. It was like, because it's week in, week out, with Liverpool, like there was just a better atmosphere. It was just constant for the 90 minutes. I suppose with Ireland, they played once every 2 or 3 months, so like you're not getting the same sort of atmosphere. And so yeah, that's kind of the main things I remember, walking into the new a different stadium, and then the atmosphere.
And where were you in the stadium?
I was in the Annie Road end. I think I was probably about 15 rows up behind the goals.
Were you now, I know a lot of people I ask were like, I really wasn't concentrating on the game because I was just looking at the cop.
I don't remember from that game focusing on the cop, but then subsequent games, as I kind of got 16, 17, I kind of remember going to games and like watching a lot of the cop and not watching the game. Because sometimes, I mean, once the cop gets going, I mean, like the noise that kind of comes down can be unbelievable,
No, it's like the whole stadium for me. I went when I was 6, so
yeah,
I really don't really remember too much. But I think as I got older, around 13, 14, started, a lot more. It's just I still remember the smells because it smelled like piss back then. Like, stank. But just the grass was always like a beautiful green.
Yeah.
Just hearing the singing is I've never heard that before in my life. Just like one big choir. And I mean, anybody who's never been, you don't really get that sense on the telly, do you?
No. You certainly don't. I suppose the odd Champions League game, you kind of nearly feel like you're at it as well. But like, it's just like a different kettle of fish when you're at the ground completely and utterly.
Yeah, it's like you turn. My missus laughs at me because I turn the volume up, like as loud as possible, just so I can kind of get with the atmosphere. And she's just, "Are you deaf?" I'm like, "No, it's just like being there." But obviously you're watching it through a different lens. Like, I miss it. It's one of the best places on earth for me. That's home.
Yeah. And do you get to go to much yourself now, or?
The last time I went was 3 years ago. Just because of COVID as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've been back for a while. I'm going this year, but yeah, the last time is when Shaq scored 2 against United when we beat him 3-1.
Oh, were they 2 deflected goals?
Yeah, they were deflected, but they went in.
Yeah, that's all that mattered.
That's the main thing. Yeah. It was just so good to obviously beat United, and I think that was the game where the next day or after Mourinho got the sack, so it was even better.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that and went out on the lash afterwards. So always good.
I've been to Liverpool, Man United a couple of times now, not too many, and unfortunately, I haven't seen them beat United in Anfield. So like,
it's a glorious thing. It's a glorious.
I know. I'd say it is. I was at the one, if you remember, when Joe Shelby got sent off, and then he went down the tunnel and had a fight with Alex Ferguson, and then I remember, I think it was Suso. Had an absolute. We lost that game with 10 men, but like thought we played really, really well, and I thought your man Suso was going to be a superstar. He was brilliant in that game. But like he did go on to have a good career too. So
Yeah, I remember that. It was Shelby and Johnny Evans, wasn't it? It was it was like a 50-50 challenge.
Yeah.
Shelby's the one that got sent off.
Yeah.
Did the olds with Sir Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit overboard, you know. But yeah, I didn't think he should have been sent off for that. I mean, if you're going to do that, should have sent off Johnny Evans as well.
Yeah.
United back then used to get a lot of their decisions, you know, as they have quite a bit this season as well. Like, I mean, all you need to go back to is the Rashford. I cannot believe that was not called offside. It blows my mind. Like
it should have been. Look, it's the rules of the game. Like, kind of nearly state that he wasn't offside, but he was definitely interfering with play. Rashford. Look, and I also think the goal that Liverpool scored against Wolves, was it Wolves? The one where your man went to head the ball and Salah was off. So,
yeah.
Like, that should have been. He was only going to head the ball because Salah's behind him, you know. So, like, in my opinion, that should have been offside as well. But definitely the Rashford.
Yeah, there's some fine lines in today's game, and you would have thought like VAR would have kind of sorted things out, but it just seems to be a bit of a mess. And I was telling my mate the other day, they come up with brand new rules.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, look, it's also human beings making the decisions. I doubt they have the rule book in front of them, reading it as they make the decision, and it has to be made quick. So there's still always going to be those slight errors with VAR. And look, it worked for United there the other day. I wanted City to win because obviously we're struggling a bit, so needed City to win that game for us to have any hope, probably, of catching United. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I never thought like Newcastle would be doing so well as because they really haven't bought any superstars yet. I mean, if they get into Europe, there's going to be some top players wanting to play for Newcastle. I didn't think they would be doing that well.
They have spent money, but as you said, no superstars. They're a well-drilled team, playing good ball. So, like, I think Eddie Howe's done a great job there.
Yeah, I think, you know, if it keeps going, he could get manager of the season quite easily. You know, because they haven't. I don't know if they've. I know Arsenal have spent quite a bit, and you know, Arteta again doing a great job. It just it pisses me off to kind of watch teams like Arsenal and Newcastle now, because he look like Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, like last year or 2 years ago, where they've got one or two senior players, but the rest are just hungry young players that have been with the squad for quite a few years. And I think that's what we need. We just need a few fresh legs in our midfield. It's you know, are these players crap? You know, these people saying Hendo and Thiago are done. They're not.
No.
Can they play 2-3 games every 2 weeks? No. Can they play a game every week? I think they can. You know, they don't turn crap overnight.
No, I think you're right. Much that we need a kind of, obviously, like, the glaring obvious issue is midfield, and we need some legs in there if we want to play the way Jurgen wants to play. I mean, like, we're just getting outrun in midfield week in, week out at the minute. So I don't know who to bring in. Like, people suggest players on Twitter, and I like, all I do is watch a YouTube video of them. So, like, I can't suggest even your man Casado off Brighton. Like, I only watch Liverpool. I only have time to watch Liverpool, so I don't know who to bring in. But we need legs in midfield.
But these Twitter managers, they know who to bring in. Let me tell you, FIFA managers who play in, you know, mummy's basement. You know, everything that's wrong with Liverpool. Basically, keep 2 or 3 players, get rid of everyone else.
Yeah,
because they're useless. You know, it just doesn't work like that.
If that was the case, if you listen to Twitter, Elliott would be gone. Like, he's been getting smashed on Twitter. Henderson would have been gone 50 years ago. You know, they just, and it does a lot of the time seem to be the English players that kind of do get the worst of it. This season now, Fabinho's kind of getting a bit, but he has looked very, very leggy. You know, maybe he needs a bit of time off or whatever, but yeah, it's a hard one to fix, but hopefully Jurgen will support it.
Well, it just seems like we go in these phases where, like, we got 2-3 defenders that get injured.
Yeah.
And then it was the midfield, and now it's the forward line, you know.
Yeah.
And then I understand where people are kind of getting a bit pissed off that we're not bringing in a midfielder, and we brought in Gakpo.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Bobby was out.
Yeah.
Jota's out till at least February. Diaz at least March, and it's going to take time for him to, you know. So I think we were going to go in for Gakpo anyway in the summer, and it was basically, I think, kind of a Diaz deal where we were going to get Diaz last summer, but then Spurs were sniffing about. Well, United thought they'd got Gakpo.
Yeah.
If you listen to any United supporter now, they'll say, "Nah, we weren't in for it." Yes, you were. You know, but I think at 37 million, it's a no-brainer.
Again, on Gakpo, I've only really seen him play the 3 games for Liverpool. I didn't know much of him beforehand. YouTube videos is about the extent of it, so I don't know too much of him. I'm just hoping that he kind of trusting Jurgen, and like hopefully he'll be good, you know.
Yeah, I don't think Jurgen's brought in too many duds.
He hasn't really, considering our success in the transfer market the 20 years prior was not that good. I'd say Jurgen has probably 70-80% success rate.
No, he's the best manager for Liverpool. I mean, again, you know, you can just say one word: Twitter, and the absolute bell ends. We're calling for Klopp out.
I've seen it.
It's ridiculous. I understand, you know, the FSG out brigade.
Yeah,
I understand them to a point. You know, I feel FSG have done Liverpool really well. They've made mistakes. They've made mistakes, but they've rectified them. You know, had this one fellow just calling it, they did the furlough. Well, they didn't.
Yeah.
They were going to, and then they put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Super League put a stop to it.
Yeah.
You know, are they the greatest owners ever? Probably not, but they've done what they've said they would do. You know, expanded the stadium, the new training facility. They've bought. It's not like they've not bought players.
Yeah.
Would I like them to spend a bit more? Of course I would.
Yeah.
Just like anybody, you know, just like Klopp has said, take a risk. Let's take a risk, you know. Do I feel we're going to bring in a midfielder in January? I just don't think so, because Klopp is still looking for that midfielder that fits the Liverpool way.
Yeah.
We're not going to get, you know, there's talk about Caicedo, but again, why would Brighton give up Caicedo when they're above us and they're going for Europe?
Yeah, I don't see Caicedo coming in. For a midfielder to come in this window, it's going to be one of these lads kind of from the French league or something like that will come in. I can't see anyone from the Premier League coming to us, or, you know, Bellingham or anything like that. I don't even know if we're going to get Bellingham. I'd love to see him, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, you think about it too. You're like, all right, Bellingham probably about 120, 130. You could probably get 3 really good midfielders for that amount. So, I mean, but to me, there's just too much talk about Bellingham. I mean, Paul Joyce came out, and he's my number one reliable source.
I think he should be everyone's number. Only listen to him on Twitter.
Yeah, but no, you know, nobody does. You know, everybody was talking about Qatari coming in, and he's just gone, nah, that's not happening. You know, not that I know of, but you know, he's saying Bellingham and Nunes from Wolves, which is another weird one, because Wolves just bought him in the summer for a record signing of 43.5 mil. Why didn't we go in for him then? And we got Arthur Mello. You know, poor bastard. I feel sorry for him. I do. It's not his fault.
No, it's not. No.
You know, it was a panic. I wouldn't even say panic buy, because we didn't really buy him. You know, we loaned him, and the poor bastard tried to work so hard that he messed up and got injured. You know, if I would love to see him prove some of these Liverpool fans wrong, though, and you know, get at least fit and at least get on the pitch and show some of the ability that he can do. Will it happen? Don't know.
I don't look again. I don't even know when he's due back, and then he's to get fit. And like, is Jurgen going to risk him if we're on for a top 4 race? I just don't see. I just don't see Mello really getting many minutes, even if he gets fit. I don't see it. Like, as you said, I'd love to see him prove people wrong, but I don't see him getting too much game time, to be honest.
Well, I think, you know, quite a number of our squad are made out of Weetabix. I think that's the problem. You know, Ox and Keita probably leaving at the end of the season is a good thing. You know, even though you see it when Keita gets to play on a regular basis. There's some player in there, I believe, but he's made of Weetabix, and we just can't keep, you know, keeping him on the books if every other like game he's going to get injured. And Ox was the same 2-3 seasons ago. Yeah, he was brilliant. I mean, against Roma, and then he got injured.
Yeah,
like the goal against Man City. Yeah, absolutely, like 25-yarder, just wellied in the corner. Yeah, you know, I missed that, but I do like how Klopp has come out and said he's loyal, but he's not too loyal, and I think that's what he's meaning. He's probably thinking to himself, I've made a mistake. I've kept some of these players way too long, especially Ox. But I think Ox was on his way out anyway this summer.
I think he was out this summer,
there was rumours like West Ham wanted him 10, 12 mil. I think he was going to leave. But then he got injured, and then you're just like, oh God, come on, you know. And then you know, Klopp wants who he wants, and you know, who am I to you know, just ramble on and on Twitter every single day going, Klopp needs to get this player, we need to sign that player, we need to spend all this money. I mean, I'm not a world-class manager. No. He is.
Yeah.
So let Klopp make the decision. Let Klopp, if Klopp thinks there's a midfielder out there in January, he'll bring him in. I'm pretty sure of it. But, you know, as of now, it doesn't look like there is. So, you know, we're going to have to grin and bear it. You know, we'll probably have more downs and ups.
Yeah.
You know, can we make top 4? I still think we can, but we've got to go on a run, and we've got to go on a run really quickly.
Yeah.
Because I think Spurs will be Spurs.
Yeah.
But it's Man United and Newcastle that I'm worried about. And I wouldn't have said that for years, but I'm worried about them because they're playing really well, you know.
Yeah, United at the minute, it's like they've got a feel-good factor back there, and like they're getting results. They're kind of playing a bit better. Rashford's back scoring, so I don't see us really catching them. So like that's the top 3 spaces gone. So like it's between, you know, Spurs, Liverpool, will Chelsea. I mean, like the money they're spending is just crazy.
Well, they're buying a whole new team. It's mental.
And like all I ever hear about Liverpool is that like, oh, we can't buy a midfielder because, you know, we've no room in the squad. I'm like, Chelsea have just bought like 50 players since the summer.
Yeah, exactly. But they'll just let people rot in the reserves.
Yeah.
and pay him. But it's one of those. Stop comparing us with other teams.
Yeah.
I mean, just stop. I mean, again, Klopp will sort it out. I have every bit of belief. We'll sneak in the back door. It might be last game of the season, but I'm more worried about Real Madrid in the Champions League than I am, top four.
Yeah, I haven't brought myself to really think about that one yet, because I mean, like if we play that game like we currently are, there's not much hope for us. But then again, when we are real underdogs, it's when we seem to put out some of our best performances. So you just never know with us.
I think I would be a little better if we played at the Bernabeu first, just to see what kind of result that is, then bring them back to Anfield. So at Anfield, we have to beat them.
Yeah.
Because I just believe there's no chance if it's a draw at Anfield, or if we lose, I think that's it.
For sure. The away goals, they're gone now, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the away goals are gone. So even if we get a kind of 2-1 win or something, would be great to bring over there, because you could sit back and we definitely have the players to kind of counter on them. It's just, I suppose, our defending at the minute. It looks like we're going to concede 5 in most games.
But they're not playing very well either.
Yeah, no, they're not either. No, they're not.
But they have players that can hurt us.
Exactly.
As we saw in the Champions League final. But
I don't know how we lost that.
I don't either. I mean, we were the better team. We were. We just got sucker punched. You know? I'm not going to blame anyone. Everyone's blaming Trent, but the cross was from Robbo's side.
Yeah,
Joel could have cleared it. It's just one of those. It's wasn't meant to be.
Look, so many little tiny mistakes just lead to one big one. So
we hit the post. It wasn't for us. From I mean, their man of the match. The man of the match was Couture. So that kind of says it all for us. But let's get on to your. When did We Are Liverpool start for you? Because I know you said you're an accountant. So when did you have this bright idea? Like, let's do, an independent label.
I suppose I've always kind of half thought about doing something, and then I was like, nah, look, I might, you always kind of just put it to the back because you're busy and kids and work and just life being busy in general. And then I remember I wanted a beanie hat for the winter, and I just said, right, I'll look up Liverpool ones, and I kind of couldn't really find anything that I wanted, so I ended up buying a New York Yankees one or something like that. No, I didn't care about that team whatsoever. I know that they're in New York. I don't even know what sport. Is it baseball? New York Yankees? Is it baseball? So I'd no affiliation with the team. I just liked the look of the hat, bought it, got it home, looked at it, liked it, and I went, Jesus, I really wanted a Liverpool one. I'm stuck with this Yankees one. So I just said, maybe I'll just try and do it. So I started designing up my own beanies then, and I just put it out there to a few suppliers, and I got someone to send me one, and they sent me one, and I wasn't overly happy with it. It wasn't a great quality. So then I reached out to somebody else, got them to make it. I had the hat in front of me, so I said, look, this is what I'm after getting. I just want to make a few adjustments to it regarding the sizing of the letters, I changed the logo a bit, and just generally changed a few things around. And then they sent me a sample, and I loved it. I was putting it down beside the New York Yankees one that I paid, I think, €35 plus a £5 postage, so 40 quid. And I put my one down beside it, and I was like, this is similar enough quality. Maybe I should try and just, get 3 or 4 player names and go with it. So I designed them up, sent them off, and paid for them, and then they landed here to me in like the end of August or something like that. So I got them up on the site, and for like, who's going to buy a beanie in August? Nobody. So like September came and it was still a bit warm, and I was like, oh no, I'd spent a couple of grand on these beanies, and I was like, oh God, this isn't going to work. But then like my missus was like, would you wear a beanie now? You're not even wearing your coat, so why would you be wearing a beanie? Who's going to buy one now? And I was like, all right, okay. So I kind of just started doing a few competitions on Twitter to, build a following sort of thing. And then eventually somebody felt sorry enough for me to buy one. So I got my first sale in September last year, and I was, you're over the moon when you got that first sale. And then it went quiet then again until October. And then, it just started getting a bit colder. I started getting a bigger following. Orders kind of slowly started to come in, and then you get excited about it. And then I think November, like, I started selling out of what I had. And I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm going to have to think of more and order more. So I ordered a load more, and like I was out of stock on a lot of them, and then they came in February, and then like they kind of started to sell out. And then for this winter, I ordered like loads of different players. Like I think I had maybe 5 or 6 at the start, and now maybe I have 15 to 20 different variations of the beanies. Some obviously sell better than others. But yeah, at the moment for me, it's more like a hobby. I haven't made a penny out of it. I enjoy doing it. As much as a cesspit Twitter can be, I do enjoy interacting with people, and I've made a good few contacts out of it as well.
Why did I think you were in like a dark basement with a sewing machine?
No, no, yeah, no. If you
Took you
ask me,
6 months to do one beanie.
yeah, I tell you, if I was to make a beanie, it'd take me longer than 6 months. I wouldn't
It probably wouldn't look like a beanie, would it?
No, I wouldn't have that expertise at all. So, yeah. So like, it's kind of look, it's going well. I enjoy it, and hopefully I can expand it into more products. And recently I brought out like a basketball jersey
Yeah,
where
the Salah one, right?
the Salah one, and I'm half thinking of kind of doing more of them. Salah, maybe Van Dijk, Nunez, and Jurgen. My thoughts on the color schemes that I use is, sometimes I use, like for Van Dijk, the beanie hat, I use his country colors, but also I kind of link it back to an away jersey. So like, we've had black and orange jerseys, and then like the Trent one I have is based on last year's away one, kind of the ecru and green. So that's kind of where I get my colors from, mostly based on away jerseys, because you can't have second 50 variations of a red hat. People just won't buy it.
Yeah, you have to have different, because like, I like the independent labels just because you go to the Liverpool shop and it's all red. It's all the same, one dimensional. While the independents kind of. But how do you? Is there not like a trademark on like these names and stuff? Because I had a mate, Dave Hewitson, he does 80s casuals.
Yeah.
And he saw these, and he's like, that's obviously not by Adidas. That I got that from Etsy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you not get away with it, but like, obviously you can't trademark Liverpool Football Club. But how does that go about?
So like, I suppose I'm not using the actual liver bird, so I got my own design that I got somebody to draw up for me. So I'm well entitled to use that. It's my own logo. You can't really trademark someone's name, so I can use like Mo Salah, I can use Van Dijk, so you can't trademark those things as far as I know. So I suppose that's kind of the root of it. And like I have Liverpool written on things, so you can't really trademark that either. So like I'm sure I look at some stage I might get, you know, a slap on the hand for maybe, you know, like doing something like, I know it'd be by complete mistake. It's not like, you know, I'm out there to kind of, you know, like completely copy something. But like I suppose I'm a small independent kind of seller, you know, like I'm not selling millions of pounds worth of stuff. Or
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. If you're not selling millions, they're kind of, you know, like he's all right. Well, once you start making millions, you'll have a knock.
I don't think I ever will. You know, like if I'll always keep the day job, and you know, like I kind of pack up. You know, like I could go a week without a delivery, you know, or I could get 5 in one day. So like I just pack them up in the evening and then ship them out the next day. I go to the post office around the corner for me, get a cup of tea, and bring it home.
Are you gonna just stick with the beanies and the t-shirts for now?
I think beanies kind of seem to be my thing at the minute. I have a few caps.
I like the bucket hats.
Oh, the bucket hats as well. Yeah,
they're coming back. You know, for some reason, like I mean, you know, again, I'm a 70s, 80s kid. Always used to wear the bucket hats, and then you know, ravers used to wear them back in the 90s. Now it just seems like they've made a comeback.
Do you know, and I was kind of unlucky with the bucket hats because they landed to me, I think, the week before the Champions League final. So I'd missed out on the FA Cup final. And then the week before, nobody's really going to order it the week before in case they don't get it for the Champions League final. So I was a bit unlucky on that front, but hopefully now this summer I kind of sell a few more of them, and I'm thinking about doing other caps. I've ordered like just a trial order of just, you know, normal sports socks, and it's kind of going along the same lines of the beanies, which like using away jersey cut, like they're all white socks with like, you know, the three stripes. You like them. And then it'll have my logo on it, and then under the logo it will have the text of the player, sort of thing. I'm not going to have them for a good few weeks, so they'll be up on the site in a few weeks, and then like I might branch out into other stuff like hoodies and stuff. Like if you can see where I'm recording this, it's out of my attic. That's where I keep all the stock. I can't you know, take too much. But like regarding, you know, t-shirt printing and stuff like that, that's prints are not something, because like I have my job and I could order plain t-shirts in and then send them off to the printers, but like it just, that would take too much time. So prints is probably somewhere where I won't go now.
Yeah, I think the basketball jerseys would sell really well, to be honest, especially over here.
Yeah, well, I have an Amazon storefront and an Etsy storefront as well. Look, you're best off going to my website, because like selling on Amazon is, they take huge chunks, huge.
See, like, I think that's a big problem again, you know, especially with the indie labels. If they want to try and get stuff out more with places like Amazon and stuff, they're getting ripped off. Yeah,
like Amazon, I suppose if I had a beanie up for say £20 on Amazon, I think after everything, I think I'm like, and tax included, I think I'd be making about £3 if I'm lucky on a beanie. And like when you sell one, I sell one beanie a day, walking up to the post office with that one beanie for £3 is kind of like, you know. So like Amazon, Etsy isn't too bad. Etsy's all right, but Amazon is, I couldn't believe the fees that they charge.
Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really be worth it, would it?
It's not. Do you know what? I'm contemplating taking down the Amazon one, because they, like, for UK orders, because of Brexit, it's like I have to charge more to the UK because they take all they'll take all their fees, they take all the VAT off me, they take everything. So like there was a stage where on Amazon I was actually losing money on sales because of all the money that they were taking off me. So yeah, I think I have to put them up on Amazon at £25 a beanie, where like if you go to my actual store, you'll pick them up for €22, which is probably £19 a beanie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a much bigger saving.
Well, everybody, you need to check out Gavin's store. It is at weareliverpool.ie. Fantastic beanies on there. Gavin has been nice enough to send me a package.
I can't remember. I think I sent you. Oh, I sent you 3 of them. Oh, could have been Gerard, Konate, and Matip. I think I sent.
Oh, nice. And then we're gonna have a competition. Don't know what the competition is yet. We've got a ton of books and a ton of merchandise to sort out. But I'll be taking one of those beanies though, ready for the 110 degrees summer. I'll be just walking down the street with a beanie and flip flops on. I might get arrested. But I'll have that beanie on. But yeah, Gavin, I really appreciate you coming on, and like I said, I really like pushing the independence.
Cheers, mate.
Just because I feel it's just a different design from the same old stuff that kind of LFC put out. It's something unique from yourself, from everyone that does these. Are you going to do scarves at all?
I looked into doing the scarves, and do you know what? When I was at the Leeds game there before Christmas, and then of course I ended Virgil van Dijk's home record when I went to that game. And look, I seen this.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, it was Gomez put one across the box. Yeah, tap in. But look, and their keeper had man of the match. But yeah, I seen the scarves outside the ground, kind of similar to what I was thinking. So it's just like, I don't know. I think I'll leave off the scarves, and I contacted 1 or 2 suppliers about them, and I suppose it would be nice if you bought a beanie and a scarf that were kind of matching. Is one thing. So look, I could revisit in the future. I don't know at the minute. As I said, this attic is full of stuff, and if I bring more stuff in, my missus will kill me.
Yeah, well, I'm the same.
Yeah.
but my trainers just sneak in the back door somehow, and then she's like, "Oh, are those new?" I'm like, "Well, I shouldn't be saying this because I'm recording. Damn it!"
Yeah.
She'll be like, "I got you now on video."
But see, we have one of those Ring doorbells as well. So like, and she's like, every time she gets a notification, she checks it. So I think she might know it was 4 boxes of stuff coming to the door for me. So
I'll be sleeping in the doghouse again.
Yeah.
Well, Gavin, I really appreciate you coming on. Like I said, please go to We Are Liverpool .ie. It's fantastic. Once the episode comes out, we'll put the link to it. We're going to push it every episode. That's why I asked for your logo. So we're going to start putting it on every episode, just to get more and more people interested and checking your store out. Oh yeah, you're more than welcome, mate. And you come back on anytime. Talk about Liverpool. I could talk about Liverpool all day. Hopefully, the next time I talk to you, we'll be in a better position in the league. It is one of those. It's whatever you want to call it, transitional. It's just a bad season so far. But I was telling me mate yesterday too. We've only 18 played, and we still have 20 games to go.
I know, it seems worse than what it is.
Well, that's the thing. If you get on Twitter, it feels like we've played 32 matches.
Yeah.
What's everyone? That's it. We're done. We're not done. We've got 20 games to go. We're still in the FA Cup. We're still in the Champions League. So, I say, take a deep breath,
Yeah.
Don't get on there every single day, say FSG out, Klopp out. It just bores the absolute crap out of me. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your mental health. I say, go back, revisit 2019 Champions League final. Go watch that. Go watch 2005 Istanbul again, and just smile. Just be happy. We win, we lose, we draw. We're Liverpool supporters. We've seen it all. We've come back from it all. So it's not all.
I suppose with FSG, I'm not like FSG in or out, but like I think that maybe they brought the club as far as they can. But like what they've done for the club over the last, I don't know, what are here, 10 or 12 years, like think of where we were and where we are now with the stadium, with the manager. They brought in the manager, the current playing squad. I mean, like they have brought all that and they've brought success along with them and trophies. So they have done a good job, but, you know, maybe it is the end of the road for them because, you know, they can't compete with the likes of what Chelsea and Man City and all them are doing. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those. If they stay, I'm okay. If they get investment,
yeah,
that's the thing, you know. And if they leave, you know, before we quickly go, I don't want an oil nation.
Yeah,
I just don't. It doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with the ethos of Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, that's exactly
the heart, and soul. And I don't want to be a soulless football club like Man City.
Yeah,
and like titles.
I don't think it fits in with the city of Liverpool, as you said, the club. I look, so many people want that oil money, and I don't know, like maybe 6-8 months time, Liverpool are taking over, and this time next year, and they're spending all this money. And like, to be honest, I do feel that a lot of people will forget about the oil money if we're performing on the pitch, which is just that's the way life is at the minute, you know.
Yeah, it's a different time, isn't it? But I still think like Klopp, I think if he's given 400 million, won't spend that 400 million. No. He's not. He's level-headed. He's not going to bring the Mbappes, these divas into the team. He's still.
He doesn't want superstars.
Yeah, he'll get players that, you know, have a good family life. You know what I mean? Like he just picks these players, and I just think a war chest. He won't spend it all. He'll just bring the right players in, and that's why Klopp's still the man for the job. So,
yeah, I love him. He's the best thing that's happened to the club in a long, long time.
He is. Everyone, thank you for listening. Please, again, always love everyone's comments that come in. I love doing the stories. It's one of my favorite things to do. That's why you don't see me so much on the preview and review shows, because everyone has an opinion, but only one person has their story, and I want to hear that story. So hopefully you guys still do. We have our 3-year anniversary coming up. Hopefully we are getting a big special guest for that. I'm still in the works, still a lot of phone calls back and forth, but hopefully that'll be a great one. But Gavin, really appreciate it, and
thank you very much, Daz.
Have a good one.
You too. Thanks a million.